Howdy and hello. Here's 10 more builds, but the focus is getting the most kills in a group setting. Results may vary, but either way, they're pretty fun. Hopefully you enjoy the video. Verisator Eviscerator. Maxi Gun will shred through all the Gondoliers. The range one never has a shield up, well, usually never does, and doesn't block its pilot very often. The melee one can, but if it's not, it gets deleted in legitimately 2 seconds, if that. If they're blocking with their arms, you can break those off if you want to, or bust out the pacifier since the entirety of the melee Gondolier is medium armor. So this will stun it in roughly 10 or so shots for around 3 seconds. You have so much time to bust out the maxi gun and shred the pilot, or you can simply use the Talon and do the same thing in less than a full magazine or battery charge, whatever it has. The shield grenade saves you some chip damage from all the obtruders shooting at you, and can help mitigate the flying overseers and harvester beam a little bit. I wouldn't risk it sitting there for too long though, because they do a bunch of damage. Machine gun and Gatling sentries are taking out a ton of obtruders, overseers, occasionally Gondoliers, and I think they sometimes target harvesters, but the main thing here is for the chaff units. Strafing run. You see a bunch of harvesters and Gondoliers, throw it in the direction, hope it does some decent damage, and it should. Breaking the harvester bubble, saving you time doing that with your maxi gun, and it can kind of kill Gondoliers, it just depends, but it'll weaken them up for sure. Overall, a very fun build for these fellers. The Mid-Morning Meat Pounder. There are a few builds in the market that can beat Behemoth Meat quite like this. Breaching Hammer can now one-shot charge a Behemoth to the noggin, and for any charge you don't kill when they're running after you, if you hit them before they run you over, you stagger them, making their charge do no damage or close to it. So you basically have a parry button or a flat-out erase from existence button, which is sick. Go on a bug breach, sit there playing whack-a-mole, and missed all these smaller bugs. And by small, I mean in this case, alpha commanders. They get splooched, evaporated. It's freaking awesome. So if you're getting ran down by a bunch of warriors and whatever else, you can kill a decent bit of them, and the ones you don't kill tend to get staggered by the explosion. A supply pack gives you a bunch more ammo for it, and it resupplies your ultimatum, which will be useful for killing Bile Titans that you can take out with a hammer. It's not advised. It's one of those things that you can do, but my lord, is it a hassle. Gas grenade, gas mines, gas mortar, they're all just a ton of CC and damage, taking out these smaller critters. The gas mines throw near a bug breach when it just started, but be careful, it can get broken before dispensing all the mines, so take that into account. And for gas mortar, if you're ever near the abyss or any place where there's a low ground that enemies can't go to really, throw it on the edge of that, because it makes it so the bugs can't path towards it as easily, and there tends to be far less patrols coming from all directions because now you have a section that's just essentially walled off, giving you a lot more uptime for said mortar. That can be a bit difficult to keep alive otherwise. Lib Carbine, it's just there for more bullets to be fired, keep the APM up, have a good time, and very importantly, Vitality Booster mixed with heavy gas resist armor, making you immune to gas damage. This is not your typical McDonald's order. This pounder right here, built different. Just like the sponsor of today's video, Raycon. With these bone conduction headphones, I can take soccer far too serious in my house or lift weights while listening to podcasts and music, and rest assured, I'll get crisp audio and still be aware of my surroundings, which is ideal when the alarm for the oven goes off, alerting me to my taters being done and ready to go. If those burn, I'll be in shambles. They're built for everyday life, waterproof, dustproof, and 13-hour battery life, as well as being comfortable. They're easy to take off and put back on, and I wear glasses and they don't conflict, although my glasses are straight back, just so we're clear. If you have folks that walk outside like my mom does, maybe give them a gander so they can still be aware of their surroundings when they're taking a stroll. My favorite part is how nothing goes in your ear, because earbuds all cause me discomfort. I've tried many kinds. These don't, and I'm quite thankful. So if you have sensitive ear canals, or perchance know of folks that go for walks, maybe a mom for Mother's Day, go to buyraycon.com/OhDough to get 15% off a selection of bone conduction headphones. And Raycon, massive thank you for sponsoring today's video. Bomb Voyage. This is a very fun build, albeit, dare I say, a blast. You are deleting bot drops whenever they land or even in the sky with C4 backpack. Fries are done. Hellbomb, if you're getting overrun, you just rip that. Hope you live. If not, oh well. 44 kill streak, freaking GG's. Solo Silo, one-shots Factory Striders. Destroys outposts sometimes. Leveler, kind of the same deal. Diligence, I just like my marksman rifles of this caliber. That can be a crossbow if you wanted to make it full bombs, full explosives. I like that though. Ultimatum, you just more explosives. Take out whatever you need to. One-shot Hulks, one-shot Factory Striders, one-shot War Striders, correction. Giganade, one-shot War Striders. I like it for that capacity. Still wish you got 2 back on a resupply. That's like the main thing I want you to get. And the armor is pretty good too, because you get 4 Giga Grenades, and if you're in a group getting respawned, you spawn with 4, because almost always they'll have the extra supplies on respawn booster active. So dying isn't the worst thing ever with the Hellbound backpack in this case. Very fun time. Ideally, I like it for War Strider Seeds, where the C4 backpack gets absurd value. Make sure you bind it to where you have the quick weapon wheel swap on a keybind or a controller button press. It makes it so much better to use. I wish they make it so after you detonate it, it goes back to being able to get tossed. That would make C4 far more seamless. Freaking good time though. Smokey the Bear's worst nightmare. OhDough can kill everything, but it won't target Bile Titans or Dragon Roaches from what I've seen. Torture can hit everything except for Dragon Roaches. Ideally though, these are going to be used for your basic chaff clear. If you have to hit Charger, go for either the wagon if you can help it, or the top of their torso, their midsection. That's actually a pretty good time to kill for flamethrowers. Now, Gatling Sentry and Airburst Strike will be your extra horde clearing capabilities. Quasar Cannon is great for Bile Titans, good for Chargers if you have some distance, and if that's on cooldown, you bust out Ultimatum. If you're facing Dragon Roaches, you can swap Airburst Strike to Rail Cannon Strike, and get tons of value from that, and Ultimatum also hits their wings and kills them in one shot. Jondelier Jolter. I chose this to not yoink up too many resupplies if I could help it. The name of this build is based on Arc Thrower stunning the mechs for the Appropriators, which I call Jondeliers. Takes 3 hits, they're stunned, and if you shoot them when they have no shields to the pilot, it's 3 hits to kill any one, which is sick. They also chain, so you're just hitting them with 1.21 gigawatts of pretty good damage, all things considered, given the horde clear and rather fast time to kill. Guard Dog keeps everything off your back to a decent degree, especially the Obtruders that they're spawning in droves. Overseers handles them pretty well, and it can even kill the Jondeliers themselves. Gatling Sentry, same concept. It has a lot more DPS though. Strafing Run. If you see a bunch of Harvesters or Jondeliers, you toss that out, breaks their shields for honestly both of them, and it can kill the mechs very fast. Eruptor, one-shot Harvester shields occasionally, break their horn, even take them out to the joint if you shoot that enough times. It can also occasionally one-tap the pilots for the mechs as well. The Talon is very nice when the enemy is already weak, and if you have a Jondelier stunned, use a Talon to break the shield, or just simply kill the pilot. I think it takes roughly 6 shots. Cold planets are going to be way better for this. This planet right here is just a neutral one. The total kills was just over 890. Time Machine Grenadier. At the time, Grenade Launcher had heavy pin for the explosive damage, and so did Grenade Wall, but folks want to argue as if their monitor isn't turned on and their eyeballs aren't open. Just look at me kill a War Strider in 7 shots with Grenade Wall, the same as Grenade Launcher when they both had heavy pin. Right now, when they're medium pin, that's I'm pretty sure impossible. It was a fun, albeit mindless time, having an answer to everything that didn't require aim, outside a sensor in this case. You could Grenade Launcher and Wall Hulks, War Striders, pretty much anywhere, and for Factory Striders, I have Leveler, or break a side panel using Ultimatum, and then use more Grenade Launcher shots. Kinda wild stuff. If anything got close, you shield nade and then begin blasting with all the explosives you need to. Now this still works for Devastator Surge actually quite nicely, and possibly even on Jet Brigade, if you don't get War Striders. If you do, you have Ultimatum, so just use that with Supply Pack, and you'll be just golden. Vox Slayer. Railgun one-shots Hulks, War Striders, so anyone you get, you can take them out with this weapon alone, and you have room for a Supply Backpack giving you tons of stims and tons of extra ammo for everything you'll need to take out the Vox engines, which are beefy fellers. Leveler can get them close to one shot, sometimes kill them in one shot. It's a bit finicky. Either or, if they're that low, Railgun tends to kill them in one max charge shot, or you can use an Ultimatum in that case. And you also have Strafing Run for those fellers and also objectives. Strafing Run gets them so low sometimes where a single ultimatum will take them out as well. So it can be akin to the Leveler in this case. Sensor staggers the cyborgs and the Alpha Commander cosplayers, just the bot commanders. So it's freaking huge for keeping yourself from dying. If you need to use any of your explosives up close, Shield Grenade. Need to survive a barrage from Vox Engines, Shield Grenade. Need to kill a Vox Engine. Shield Grenade does technically work, although it is very difficult, especially if they're moving. Kind of wish we had a little bit more throwing distance, which you could bring extra throwing distance armor if you want. The choice is yours.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. For a second, I didn't think it was the real OhDough.
Dude, I've been getting that so much the past few days. I don't understand it. Crispy Cremator. This is getting a little ignorant. Some things aren't necessary, but it's cool having Cremator to kill all the chaff, some of the big fellas if you need to, but most of the options are for anti-tank and objective clearing. Rail Cannon Strike, Dragon Roaches, Battle Titans, whatever the case may be. Strafing Run, one-shots, multiple secure hotels, and it weakens the bigger fellers. Battle Titans, Chargers, making it for a faster time to kill with the Cremator. P-Strike is a throw. Don't take that. It's honestly so sad how it's fallen from being decent. Now it just misses constantly, especially in cities. The repositioning is rough. Sweeper is a freaking solid shotgun. If you need, you can help homies that are close quarters. You don't want to freaking immolate them. So instead, bust out Sweeper, knock back bugs, kill them very fast. Two-shot Hive Guards, big fan. Ultimatum, it's been in pretty much most builds. And Instant Grenades for bug closing, but mostly for horde clear. If you're not the host, don't take these. You won't get as much value. The reason why is ground fire is far less effective for the client because most of the time things walk into it and they don't get lit ablaze. If you're the host, it's far more consistent, if not 100%, to where enemies that walk into fire get lit on fire. Young and the Buffless. Grenade Launcher got nerfed. Well, the buff got removed, I suppose, but you can still one-shot the commanders for the cyborgs. For the actual cyborgs, it takes 2 shots. You can go the crossbow and kill them in 1 if you want to, but Double Freedom is nice to break the panels on Vox Engines in 1 shell each. And once they're destroyed, you can use thermites. They phase to the bottom panel if thrown at, I suppose, this angle. Works for me basically every time, and it's honestly easier landing that than having a grenade go in the bucket, because if it's running away from you, that's pretty tough to do. You've got Gatling Barrage that can take out Vox Engines by itself, but also weaken it, and Strafing Run weakens it, and if it's weak, you can use Ultimatum. Or you can use Grenade Launcher. Shoot the railing above the tires or treads, and you can actually damage it with that weapon. And aside from that, you got Ultimatum and Thermites for the bigger fellers. Hulks, tanks, Warstriders, both these one-shot them. Coper's all reliable. BFGL takes out small critters pretty good. It's very fun to shoot as well. The bigger they get, though, the longer it takes. But it does kill Battle Titans, Chargers, and Impalers, which is a nice feature. Napalm Barrage is the major cope here. You toss it in on a bug breach, and you're getting 100 kills pretty often on Pouncer Seeds. That inflates kill counts pretty heavily. Gatling Barrage. Same deal when you're on cooldown for the previous one. Machine Gun Sentry. Whenever you need some backup and you see a bunch of small things on your screen and you want to save some ammunition. Ultimatum to help kill Battle Titans and save ammunition, or Chargers, or Spore Chargers, whatever the case may be. Power Techs. Good for objective clearing. You get 6 grenades total, so you can close a bunch of bug nests. And you see a bug breach, you spam these as well, if you feel like it. That's the loadout. It's pretty chill. I would have been on a pretty good pace for 1,000 kills in a group, but I got kicked. Due to a slight miscommunication, I couldn't read what they said. Like, I could have sworn they said, is this guy on one? Instead of what they actually said, which is, are you the one? I'm assuming, are you the OhDough? The builds are finito, and here's a list of all the things I've shown so far, which, by the way, these loadouts can be very good against objectives for the respective faction they were showcased on. For instance, Bon Voyage and the bots. Great. Using that same loadout versus the bugs, not so ideal. So keep that in mind. And some advice for getting a bunch of kills. You want to focus the bug breaches, bot drops, and illuminate reverse tractor beams. Otherwise, it'd be kind of tough. To make that easier for yourself, the main thing that I did during my matches was just not constantly kill the things that can snitch. If I knew a a reinforcement was going to be happening soon, I would keep a hunter, a warrior alive, cinch about 9,000, and same thing goes for Billy Bops. I would let them live so there's a decent chance of them calling in more dudes. Otherwise, how do you expect to get the most kills? You know what I mean? There's more cheesy things you can do that I embarked on a little bit, but that's like the main thing I recommend doing instead. Anywho, that's the video. Thank y'all for watching, and Raycon, thank you again for sponsoring the video. I appreciate it a ton. Yeah,